Good morning and welcome to episode number 9 of a Finch's Nest podcast. My name is Heather and I am coming to you today from just outside of Toronto in Ontario, Canada. Today is December the 23rd, just 2 more days till Christmas. So I've been very busy getting all my last minute making done, and I'm looking forward to giving the gifts that I've made. So I thought it would be fun just to do a quick little podcast today to show you some of the things that I have been working on. Some of them you've already seen. There's a couple that you haven't seen yet. So so just a recap for myself, but also for you to see the things that I've been working on. I am getting over a cold, so you may notice my voice is a little scratchy at times, but hopefully it won't be too bad. So, like I've said before on other podcasts, I have made it a habit of making something homemade for each of my children for Christmas each year, and so it's kind of an undertaking because, I have 5 children plus my son-in-law, so that's 6 now, and so I try to start early in the year and work away at it slowly, but I had mentioned on a podcast earlier that I'm thinking that maybe next year I'm going to take a year off. So it's kind of hard to take a year off of something like that you've kind of done for a long time and made a habit. But I've been noticing like my daughter and my mom, when I'm at their house, I see all these nice things that they have in their home that I've made for them. And I'm like, they all have more than I have. So I think it's time to take a year to make some things for myself and to maybe be a little selfish with my making, which is going to be hard because I love making for other people, but I know with a new grandbaby coming that I'm going to be making a lot of things for the baby, and so I think it's just time maybe to take a year off and focus on getting some things made for myself. So my daughter came over the other day and she had her hat and mitts on that I had made her, and I was like, wow, that's really nice. And meanwhile, I'm wearing store-bought mittens. So I think it's time. But, and maybe just get caught up on some of the projects that I've started for myself and never finished. So that would be good too. Anyway, so this will be a shorter episode and it's just going to be a recap of the things that I have finished. It will not be any of what I'm working on right now. It'll just be these finished Christmas items. So we will start. So this is a pair of satin slippers that I made for my youngest daughter. So I made these quite a while ago. Now I only sewed on the little patches last night. So they have the little suede patches on the bottom. And this is a pattern that was put out, I think it's by Diana Walla, but through Espastrico. So I did change the pattern slightly. There's supposed to be like that lace stitch all through here, but I didn't think that it really needed it. So yeah, so I hope she likes these. She doesn't really like wearing slippers, but her feet are always cold, so I'm hoping that this will be something that she likes and will wear, and she won't have cold feet all the time. And they're definitely more comfortable than wearing a slipper when you're just hanging out watching TV and stuff. So yeah, I like the colors that I use, and I think they turned out really nice. So I hope she likes those. So those are for Brianna. And then I took the same pattern and just used the stitch counts and stuff and made a pair for my other daughter. So obviously I didn't do any of the color work. And I put the patches on last night. So these I think are going to be really warm. They're very thick. They're you make them with a DK weight. And this is 100% wool, so they should be nice and warm. So this pair was a lot easier without the color work, but I thought she'd like this style, kind of a roots style. So those are for Allie. And then for the boys, they just like their homemade socks. So I made this pair a long time ago. I think probably maybe in February or March, I think I made these. So they've been sitting waiting for Christmas. So this is a nice yarn with lots of specks of color in them. So I haven't completely decided which son will get these, but I'm thinking my son Mackenzie. He wears his homemade socks all the time. Actually, both my boys do. So that's nice. They're very knit-worthy. So, and they're hard on their socks, but they don't wear them out, which is surprising. But anyways, I'm really happy with these. I hope he likes them. Just kind of different colors, which is nice for a boy. And then, so those are for Mackenzie, I think. And I'm just putting these on the blockers. I'm just wondering if you've gotten all your making done for Christmas. I know us makers like to leave lots of things right till the very last minute. So hopefully you're making your deadlines. Okay, here's another pair that I made. And I talked about these a few times on the podcast, I think. This is beautiful yarn, so soft. I think these will be for Nicholas. I think Mackenzie would really love these colors, but I think they're very similar to a pair that I made him last year for Christmas. So that's why I thought maybe I would give them to Nicholas. But yeah, just kind of browns and grays. Really nice colors. The colors are showing up nice today, so that's good. Yeah, so these are for Nicholas. And then next is socks that I showed on my last podcast. So if you watched the last one, you've already seen this, but I will show you again in case you did not watch the last one. So these ones are from my son-in-law, Sam. And they're just these. I love so much. This is very thick and woolly wool. Going to be very warm socks. So he also wears his homemade socks a lot. So nice when you make things for people and they love them and wear them. I recently sent some socks to a friend whose husband passed away. So I sent a pair of socks to her and her daughter, and you know, you don't know how they're going to be received because they're not knitters, and I didn't know if it was really appropriate to send a gift when someone's passed, but I just wanted it to feel like they were being thought of, and that maybe the socks would feel like a big hug for me because I don't live nearby and I can't just go give them a hug. Anyways, I've had multiple messages from her to tell me how much she appreciates them, and she wears them all the time apparently, so that makes me so happy to know that she likes them, and hopefully they're bringing some sort of comfort during this very difficult time. Anyways, off on that sad tangent, these are for Sam, and I know he will wear these. And then I have this pair for my daughter, which again I've already shown on the podcast, but they're so fun. I'm going to show you again. And here's Katie's. So just the same as Sam's, only with the pink stripe instead of a blue stripe. So here we go, matching set. I wanted to do this for a few years, but I was waiting until they were going to have a baby to do this. So mommy and daddy socks. So they'll love those, I know they will. And then, of course, the little baby socks for our very soon-to-be baby. So she's doing just 6 weeks now, so it's getting really, really exciting now. So pink if it's a girl, and blue if it's a boy. So I am so excited to give them these. I know they're just going to love them, so that'll be fun. I have a few other little things that I've made for the baby. So some you've seen, some you have not. I made these little booties, which the sun is blowing out now. But they're just little off-white booties, the garter bottom. Sorry. Yeah, so these were made with 2 strands of a DK weight held together, so they're really nice and thick and squishy. So they should be nice and warm. Now I was hoping that they were going to turn out a little smaller, like a newborn size, but they are definitely not a newborn size. But that's okay. Baby will grow into them. So that's one little thing for the baby. And then the little socks that I've shown before that I've made. Just little off-white socks. They're so little. So cute. So it'll be nice to give her some of this stuff so she can start her little collection at home. And then the little hat for the baby. And I don't know if you can see the tag. I have little tags made with love by Grandma. So cute. So this is adorable. A pom-pom. So yeah, I'm excited, so excited to give those gifts. So only 2 more gifts, and it's so funny because I've spent all this time working on all these gifts, and yet there's not that many really, but it just seems like it's taken forever to make them all. Anyways, my mother asked me if I would make her a bag for Christmas, so that was easy because I'm always making bags. So she said that she wanted something cute and not flowers, so which was surprising because she loves flowers. So it's a good job she told me that, or I would have made her a floral one. So anyways, I made her this project bag for Christmas, and it has koala bears and sloths on it. And once you see the next finished object, you'll see the significance of this fabric. But yeah, so just a off-white lining in it, and just one of my standard bags. So it's funny because she doesn't actually have one of my bags yet, which is, I guess it's kind of bad that she doesn't have one yet, but she will now. And then I made her one of these to match. Well, not match, but coordinate. So I was helping her move a few weeks ago, and I realized that she keeps all of her notions in a Ziploc bag. And I was like, oh dear, that's not okay for somebody whose daughter makes bags. So I made her one of these, so she can keep her scissors and stuff in here instead of in a Ziploc bag. And actually the Ziploc bag wasn't even zipping anymore. So when I was moving her, I ended up accidentally dumping everything that was in the bag because it wouldn't seal. But anyways, she will now have a nice pouch for her notions instead. And then the last object, which is my absolute favorite one, and I'm so happy about, is I made a quilt for the baby. So I've mentioned before that we don't know if the baby's a boy or a girl. So it's been a little tricky making things because I just like girly things for little girls and boyish things for little boys. But and I was really struggling to try to find some fabric that was gender neutral. So I was at the fabric store one day and I did find this fabric that I used for my mother's bag. And I thought, well, that is cute. It's cute, but it's not like super babyish, and it's really nice colors, like different for a baby, I think, but maybe kind of trendy for a baby right now. So I bought that fabric thinking I would make something for the baby. And originally I was thinking I would make like a sleep sack or something. But the more I looked at it, the more I thought, well, this would be perfect for a quilt. So I ended up ordering the jelly roll that went with that fabric, and I had such a hard time finding that jelly roll. I had to order it from the States, and it did take quite a while to get here. So I haven't had a lot of time to work on the quilt, but I did manage to get it finished, and I'm so excited. And it's going to be really hard to show you because it is kind of big, but hopefully you'll get the idea of how it turned out, and I will post some photos after I gift it to them, and so I will be giving them this tomorrow. So here is the fabric that I was talking about. And all of the squares are made with a jelly roll. So there's lots of little prints with, some have little flowers or little stars, little koala bears. Just really cute fabrics. And there's little pops of red here and there, so that's why I chose this kind of orangey red border. See if I can show you some more of this. And I have washed it already, so the baby can use it right away. So that's why it looks all rumply, which is how I like a quilt. There's some cute little words on it, and like little trees. What else do we have? Oh, here's some more of the cute little words. But I think it's just very, very gender neutral and just super cute fabrics. I wish you could see it better. But see, there's little pops of red here and there, which I thought would be nice to pull out in that border. So this is the quilt. I'll try to show you all of it. So yeah, and then I use this kind of mustard color for the border, which was similar to this here. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. But I love the colors. I love that the center part is very sort of bright and fresh looking. So this is really, really hard to show you, but anyways, I will post photos of it once they have it. And then on the back, I used the same koala bear fabric. And you can see now how nice and rumply it is. It looks so cute. So I always like to wash a quilt before I gift it, because for two reasons. One, I love this look when it's all rumply. Better than when you first sew the quilt and it's all nice and pristine. I like this look better. But also, I'm always worried that a color is going to run, and I would hate for it to happen to the recipient. And I was really worried with this one with the red. So I wanted to wash it myself first to make sure it didn't run. And I did put a lot of salt in the water when I washed it, so hopefully the color's set now and she won't have any issues with it. But this was definitely my favorite project of this Christmas. So, and you know, I haven't made any quilts for a while. I used to make quilts all the time, and I think making this has really rekindled my love of quilt making. So I definitely want to make more quilts for the baby. I definitely want to make like a gender specific one once the baby's born. And this one I thought she could probably just keep in her crib, because I know the bedding that she's wanting is gray. And so she could keep this in the crib, and then I could make, and then this one she could use for like all of her kids over the years. And then I want to make a gender specific one with like a label on the back for that specific child. So yeah, I didn't put a label on this one yet. I'll probably do it after the baby's born, because it's just really tricky to know what to write on it when you don't know who it is, or yeah, so I'll probably do that later. But anyways, I'm really, really happy with this, and she has no idea that I made it, so she's going to be surprised, and I know she'll love it. She's very, very, I was going to say knit-worthy, but she's very appreciative of homemade gifts, and she does make things herself, so she understands the time that goes into these things. So she does cross-stitch mostly, so which is very time-consuming, and so she understands that a lot of effort and a lot of love goes into homemade projects. So, and I had so much fun making this quilt, because I was just, you know, when you're spending all that time sewing, you're thinking about who you're making it for, and in this case it's just so exciting that a baby's coming, and you know, you're just all the things that you're planning and dreaming of about being a grandma. And yeah, so it was really a really fun project. So I'm excited now to wrap all this stuff up. Katie's coming probably in about an hour to have our baking day. So every Christmas we do a baking day together, and we just bake everything in one day. We make a huge mess and clean up once. So that's kind of our system. So we're doing that today. And then we will have Christmas at my house tomorrow on Christmas Eve. So this year I decided to try to make things a little more simple. I think sometimes we complicate things that don't need to be complicated. So normally I do like turkey and ham, and this year I thought, you know what, I'm not doing a turkey. It's a lot of work, and I don't even actually enjoy turkey that much. And ham is just so much easier, and you can do a lot of the prep work ahead of time for your, you know, side dishes and stuff. And it just frees us up to spend more time with our family instead of more time in the kitchen. So we're doing ham this year with a bunch of side dishes, and then for dessert, normally I would do apple pie and Christmas pudding, and this year I'm not doing that either. So I have a recipe for this gingerbread cake, and you serve it warm with whipped cream and applesauce, and it's delicious. And I don't make it very often, so it's kind of a nice treat, and it's something, again, that you can make the cake ahead of time and just warm it up, and it's just so much easier. And yeah, I'm just trying to keep things simple this year, because I find, as the mom, I spend so much of my time in the kitchen on Christmas, and I feel like I miss a lot. So this year I'm trying to simplify and do as much as I can ahead of time, and just enjoy being with my kids tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. And then on Christmas Day we'll spend most of the day together, and then Katie and Sam will need to leave and head to Sam's family, which they live far away, so they have some travel time, and then the rest of us will head to my brother's for the evening. And the weather's supposed to be good, so that's great for traveling. And yeah, so we're just looking forward to Christmas. So I need to get these things wrapped up. My kids are still sleeping this morning. That's why I was able to sneak this little podcast in. So I'm hoping to get all this stuff wrapped up before they wake up, and definitely before Katie shows up. So yeah, so that's it for now. I will come back in January with a normal podcast of the projects I'm working on. So the next few things that I need to really focus on are the newborn outfits for the baby. So I will need to get those finished quickly now. So those are my priority. And then I'm hoping to move on to some knitting for myself. But I definitely want to get those newborn outfits finished first. So I am planning on Boxing Day to have a stay in my jammies, watch movies all day, and knit all day. So that's always my goal on Boxing Day. We don't have to go anywhere. We have tons of leftovers to eat. I don't have to be cooking or cleaning, so that's my plan for Boxing Day. So we'll see if that happens. So if it does, I imagine I'll get quite a bit done on those outfits because they're so tiny. I'm hoping that they'll go very quickly now. So anyways, I'm gonna go now, put this stuff away. But I just wanted to wish you a wonderful Christmas with family and friends, and yeah, I just hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and I hope that all your handmade gifts are very much appreciated and loved by those who receive them. Anyways, I will talk to you later. Bye for now.